What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4. Now, this was a very highly requested video, as after the Eagles' crushing defeat to the Cincinnati Bengals, I no longer said I'd be doing the hype videos, because there's nothing to get hyped for. I mean, we're mathematically not eliminated from the playoffs, but unless, some miracles happen, and you got Eagle fans out there doing your Hail Marys, it's done. So there's nothing really much to get hyped for the remaining games of the season. So you will continue to get your post-game videos that seem you guys, at least you can come in, and you're not an Eagle fan, you can troll me. If you're an Eagle fan, you can, we can huddle together in our sorrow. Disappointed with the Philadelphia Eagles. But everyone wanted to see me do another mock draft. And usually I don't do that many. I think I did 5 in total last year. And I definitely didn't start this early. And I already have 1 in the books, which we'll recap. But we're doing mock draft number 2. And this one will be a little bit different. I'm going to state right now that this is not my official, I'm doing my scouting, I'm doing the mock draft and prospects that I believe will fall. I'm using fanspeak.com, which has a draft simulator. So that's a little bit of a different experience. I was debating maybe screen recording this so you could see the draft as it goes, but that was a little bit too much work, so you're just going to enjoy it. The gameplay here, whatever sexy Eagles gameplay we have, as well as my lovely voices. I kind of recap and discuss, if I was actually the Eagles GM and the board played like this. I've messed around with this a couple times before, and it seems pretty unrealistic, kind of. Like some prospects slip, but that is the nature of the draft. You look at any big board website, there's usually some guys they have mocked for sure going in the 2nd and 3rd round that slipped to the 6th and 7th. So maybe we give it the benefit of the doubt here and see how well we can do in a full 7-round mock draft. So, let's just quickly recap our first mock draft that we did. Got a lot of views. Thank you guys for tuning in for that. I think it's like 6,000 plus. The first round, we went wide receiver. We got Corey Davis. In the second round, we got Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle, who looks like he won't even be in this year's draft. Looks like he'll be heading back to Notre Dame for one more season. Third round, we got Cameron Sutton, the corner from Tennessee. Fourth round, Vince Beagle, outside linebacker from Wisconsin. Fourth round, Chidobe Awuzie, corner from Colorado. Big fan of him. Fifth round, James Conner, running back from Pitt. Sixth round, KD Cannon, wide receiver from Baylor. And seventh round, Ben Ballware, inside linebacker, mean motherfucker from Clemson. Let's see what we do here with Draft Speak. And like I said, this is just, maybe we actually come up with a good draft, but for the most part, it's just something different to do. And this, this will probably differentiate from the next mock and my first mock that you see, because there's going to be a lot of taking the best player available if someone slips. So let's draft right now. Hopefully we don't have any super tough decisions. So off the board, Myles Garrett went to the Cleveland Browns. Trubisky, Marlon Humphrey went 3rd overall. Desmond King went 5th. Oh my, all right, all the goddamn corners are gone. That's looking phenomenal. 14th, oh shit, okay, so looking at the big board, Jabril Peppers is still there. Leonard Fournette still there. Dalvin Cook, Jalen Tabor, let's go. I hate how I sound super Canadian when I say that. Already, this is where you get a little bit questionable. Desmond King went 6th overall. You got Jamal Adams 8th overall. Adoree Jackson went 11th overall to the Saints. So we're sitting here. We got pretty much everything we want, but we're going Jalen Tabor 100%. Corner has been, the biggest glaring need, I think, for this team. More so than getting Carson Wentz a weapon. Like, Leonard Fournette's there, and it's one of those things where you could see where Dallas was at last year. So many people said you can't go Zeke Elliott. And then they went to Zeke Elliott, and look, they're goddamn unstoppable. But our team is not built like the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone knew that if Dallas got that running back behind that offensive line, they were going to do stuff. Our offensive line is nowhere near that. So we need to go best player available at a position of need. And our 2 big positions of needs are corner and wide receiver. And right now, the best wide receiver on the board is, we have John Ross is still there, and that's pretty much it. Juju Smith-Schuster's gone. Mike Williams is gone. So we're going Jalen Tabor, 100%, getting our franchise lockdown corner right there. I'm not sure if Quincy Wilson declared or not, but yeah, man. Oh, this. I'm already kind of skeptical about this. Leonard Fournette is still yet to be drafted, and it's almost the end of the first round. That's not gonna happen. Leonard Fournette's still on the board, and we're in the 2nd round. But whatever. Take this for what let's take this for what it is worth. At the very least. Still there. We might be able to get Leonard Fournette in the 2nd round, for God's sakes. I'm just going to lose all my credibility right there if I can. There, 2nd round, look, Leonard Fournette's still on the board. The 9th overall pick is still on this board right now. Corey Davis is still there, our 1st round pick as well. But this is like one of those, do I take Leonard Fournette and then just throw all credibility out of the window? right now. Maybe get Corey Davis, could be in the first round. Let's try to keep this draft looking as realistic as possible. If I take Leonard Fournette right now, everyone's like, there's no way you're getting Leonard Fournette. He's going top 5. Do I? Do I or don't I? Do I keep it somewhat realistic? Let's keep it realistic. Like I said, obviously, just note and point. I'm gonna put it here because I'm gonna do a recap. Fournette, second round. Just so that if this was real life and Fournette somehow slipped to the Eagles in the second round, that's an absolute no-brainer. Fournette is better than Ezekiel Elliott. Fournette is the best running back prospect I've seen. I like Ezekiel Elliott. He was great. I like Todd Gurley. He was great. Fournette might be the next guy, but we got to go Corey Davis. He's still on the board. That's where we're going. We're getting Carson Wentz, a weapon there at wide receiver. Just because there's so much depth at running back that I know the difference between whatever wide receiver we get in the second round and what running back we get in the second round, I think you're going to start to pull back even in the third round in terms of value at the running back position. So we're still here holding on. So we got a corner and wide receiver right now. We could go corner. We can go running back. Let's see what we got. Nick Chubb just went off the board. Chidobe Awuzie, I wanted him bad. Chidobe Awuzie was where I was leaning. I think he's an incredibly talented running back. I meant cornerback from Colorado. So we're still here. Pat Elflein's there, the guard. Curtis Samuel, wide receiver. We can maybe look at Samaje Perine. Anthony Walker Jr., the talented linebacker, still there. We might need depth at linebacker. Wayne Gallman. But we're going to go with the third round, Donta Foreman from Texas. We're going to get our running back here. Just because, as it stands right now, and I'm recording this, I want to believe in Wendell Smallwood. I want to, have firm belief that he can be a good enough running back that we don't have to spend a high pick on a running back, that we can, he could be our lead back next year when we move on from Ryan Matthews. But so be it him not getting the amount of touches that he needs or him not just being good. I need to see a 100-yard game. 100-yard game is the, if you want a game-changing running back, they should be able to achieve 100 yards rushing in a game. I would say at the very least, every 3 games. And I haven't seen that yet. He's got close. I think he had 78 yards a couple weeks ago. But you know what I'm saying. As much as you want to be optimistic about Wendell Smallwood, I haven't seen franchise running back yet. And Donta Foreman is a monster from Texas. That guy there is a 3-down back in the pro game. I have a buddy that's a Longhorns fan. He says he's going to be a stud in the NFL. So now we're here with our first of 2 fourth-round picks here. Looking at the board, where can we go? What do we need? We got corner. For my mock draft, basically, I want 2 corners in this draft. I want a wide receiver or 2. An offensive lineman would be nice. I want a linebacker, be it inside or outside, running back, and maybe a defensive lineman. We already have a running back. We already have a wide receiver. We have a corner. So looking here in the 4th round, we kind of have to go best player available. Wide receivers, what do we got here? James Washington, Oklahoma State. Artavis Scott, Clemson. Malachi Dupree, LSU. Ryan Switzer is still there. We got Jehu Chesson. But I see like Amba Ateta Taiwo from Syracuse. I probably butchered that name. I think he could be productive, and he's a couple rounds later. What do we got an offensive line here? Tackle. Guard. Guards. Like we could, if we see a guy that could be, take over for Alan Barber. He's not getting any younger. What do we got? A linebacker. Kendall. Ooh. I think that could be some good depth. I think that's what we're going to take. In the first pick in the 4th round, we're going to get our linebacker, and we're going to get Kendall Beckwith from LSU. Definitely fits the style of a Jim Schwartz defender. Very, very good tackler, hard-nosed player. We got our linebacker off the board. So now we can look at corner, offensive line, defensive line, just because, we don't know at this point of the mock draft if we re-sign Benny Logan or not, or maybe Connor Barwin's gone. We may need someone like that on the outside. But we could look wide receiver. We got Vince Beagle, edge rusher. What do we got at corner? I'm not a big fan of any of these corners that we got here right now left. Like looking at Cole Luke from Notre Dame's the only guy that really jumps off the page. But wide receiver, we still got a bunch of talent. Malachi Dupree, LSU. Like I said, that's a guy that You don't know if it's untapped talent because they don't throw a ball a lot there in LSU. He's going to be, I'd be able to make a better decision on this pick if we were after the combine. But until we're just got to go with, we're going Malachi Dupree from LSU. We got to get another wide receiver here and get Carson Wentz some goddamn weapons. So we got 2 wide receivers. We got offensive linemen. We still want corner and defensive line is where we want to try to finish up this year's draft. We have a 5th, 6th, and 7th. Let's do this. So for offensive line, that's where we just go best player available. Where we fall in love with tackle, everyone's worried about what's going on with Jason Peters. I think Vaitai, with another year of development, should be fine with that, with being able to take that over. We get Vincent Taylor, Oklahoma State for our defensive line. What about edge rushers? What do we have here? Deshaun Hand from Alabama, prospect. You get any defensive player from Alabama. Usually they can be, make your squad. What do we have at corner? Shul Douglas, Cole Luke, Notre Dame. Like I said, Notre Dame's not that good defensively, but you might have to go Cole Luke. I'm not a fan of anyone else we have. So we'll go Cole Luke from Notre Dame in the 5th round, for our second corner on the draft. And let's see, maybe we can hit. What was Vaitai, a 5th, 6th round pick last year? Maybe we can hit it on another solid offensive line. That just kind of fits what we want. We will just go best player available. Let's see what we got. Oh, shit, Vincent Taylor went, the defensive lineman. That's the guy I was hoping to target. The Patriots took him, and now he's no longer on the board. That's disappointing. Our draft's looking pretty solid in terms of name value, but, I mean, how much weight can you put into this mock draft when fucking Leonard Fournette fell to us in the 2nd round? So, let's go 6th round. Take best player available. We still got some guys there that I've heard of, that I'm familiar with. Taiwo's still there from Syracuse. He's looked pretty good. But we gotta help everyone. We gotta get at least to the best offensive lineman. Let's see if I heard of any of these. None of the tackles. We got a Stanford guard. John Toth from Kentucky is a good center. But can he play guard? We'll just go Johnny Caspers from Stanford. Not super familiar with him, but Stanford usually does produce good offensive linemen. So that's what we'll go there. We'll get a guard. So, because right now, looking at the offensive line, assuming that Jason Peters comes back for another year, guard is, one of the true positions we can look at upgrading from Barber. He has a solid year, but he's old. He's almost as fucking old as Jason Peters is. So, we may need to move on from there. But looking back at how this draft played out, taking Malachi Dupree in the 4th round, knowing that I could have got Taiwo from Syracuse in the 6th round, I definitely would have went different, and I would have maybe got a guard or offensive lineman there in the 4th. Well, let's finish out this draft. As always, guys, let me know. You guys can check out fanspeak.com and post your results from your drafts and see if you can do better than your boy C4. So we want to end here with a defensive lineman of some sort, being the best tackle or be it the best defensive end that's left on the board. So looking here at the big board, we got Dalvin Tomlinson from Alabama. No idea. Dylan Donahue, never heard of him. Sam Wushing from Washington. Is he big enough, though, to be a defensive end in our scheme? I don't want to make that pick. Because not a lot of these guys. Now we're getting this late. I know some of the skill position players, but when it comes to, where I need to go with the Eagles, we'll go. Weston Steelhammer, pretty much the best name I've ever fucking heard of. We'll go Sam Wushing from Washington. That's our defensive lineman. It's everyone from Washington has been pretty solid, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be honest. These 6th and 7th round, I might need to brush up here on some of our 6th and 7th round final day picks, because outside of skill position players, there's a couple. Most of these guys I do know or I've at least heard of, but for the positions that we need for the Philadelphia Eagles, not jumping off the board here at me. But let's just finish up this draft. Get a quick recap. I think we did if this was our draft, I'd be fucking ecstatic. Jesus, Weston Steelhammer falling to free agency. So let's take a look. I got a nice job. I don't know if that actually grades it. So in the 1st round, we got Jalen Tabor from Florida. 2nd round, Corey Davis, wide receiver from Western Michigan. 3rd round, Donta Foreman from the running back from Texas. 4th round, Kendall Beckwith, the linebacker from LSU. Staying with LSU in the 4th round, Malachi Dupree, the wide receiver from LSU. 5th round, Cole Luke, the corner from Notre Dame. 6th round, we got Johnny Caspers, the guard from Stanford. And then the 7th round, we got Sam Wushing, the defensive edge rusher from Washington. So as always, guys, that is a different type of mock draft. I'm going to say don't put too much weight into this one. Maybe you could. I mean, this draft, if you want to get in the mindset that this might be how the Eagles will go, that'd be fucking awesome. But for the most part, take it, I wouldn't say with a grain of salt because, I still think I did a decent job here. But this is not going to be the mock draft. I'm like, come on, the Eagles need to follow this format because I don't think a lot of these players will fall to where they are. But who knows? Maybe they will. But stay tuned for mock draft 3, which will be coming out probably in a month or so, which I will take. I'll do free agency. I'll do some in-house keeping, and I'll go back to just doing my personal write-up of a mock draft and not using a simulation. But, yeah, give it a try, guys, in FanSpeak, and let me know and post your results of the draft. And we can see if you can draft better than me. You're the man. Maybe make a YouTube channel. Who knows? But until next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.